Hello, everyone. It's the Leo new moon today. Thank you all for joining us. I'm sure you can feel it. I can. The new moon is, I like to think of it as breathing. When you do yoga, when you take that breath in and you're at the point of fullness, that's the full moon. And when you're holding it and there's this like certain anxiety, you're like, oh my God, I need air and I need to let this out. That's the full moon energy. And then the new moon is when you've let that breath out and it's the full exhale and you're at the bottom of it and there's that anxiety again. And it's like, oh my God, I need air. So it's so much fun for us to do these on the new moon and the full moons. There's always this level of energy that comes with it, which makes it fun. So today with the new moon in Leo, new moons are also the best time to plant seeds, apparently, if you're a gardener or a farmer. And it's also good for manifesting. So we will have a bit of that aspect in today's talk, but Leo represents the sun and is ruled by the sun. Leo teaches us the gift of self-love. And just like the sun, it gives without judgment. It gives to all living beings in the water. It gives to the top of the mountain. And it's not saying you're a bad person, you don't get sunlight, right? It's just going to give without morality. In this way, it teaches us the self-love and giving and generosity of that love to others. I went to a private Christian school. Actually, me and Sharon have some interesting similarities that way, especially for 9 of Clubs. And that resulted in me having all of this scripture committed to memory. And there's one verse in the Bible that says, perfect love casts out all fear. And so I thought that was a beautiful way to tie in the self-love and the love of Leo to the courageousness that the sign also brings. I find Leo for me can bring up these issues of courageousness. For me, what's really coming to a head for me these days is getting stuck in, me and Sharon have mentioned on these calls, we don't like surface level conversations. We like this deep stuff to get messy and to get really authentic with people. And when I get caught in a surface level conversation, whether that's I'm hosting someone or there's been a situation where we were hosting someone for a weekend and I went out to get coffee at 10 a.m. and I didn't leave the kitchen until 1 p.m. because I just got trapped in this listening cycle and it was exhausting. And I'm like, how do I consistently keep letting this happen, right? Or if we're hosting an event and I feel like I'm just going to nod and smile my way to, sometimes I do fall asleep actually. And what I'm seeing is a need for more courageousness and a need to have a boundary and be able to say, I got to go to the bathroom or it's been nice chatting, I got to run. I'm like, am I going to let this happen again? Or am I going to be courageous and manifest a new way to handle this? So Sharon, what about you? What's going on?
So I am absolutely new moon engrossed with moving and purging a bunch of things. It's been an interesting process for me of deciding that I want to completely purge everything that I'm doing right now, that I have, and get it eliminated down to only what I need and I use on a daily basis. For this move, the past couple of weeks have been incredibly exhausting for me, emotionally and physically, because my body has been fighting against me wanting to do this purge. And even though I want to do it, there's all this stuff that's kept me safe in the past. And especially from my design side, my undefined G center, if I don't have the people in my life that I feel grounded around, then I've had this thing where I needed to keep the stuff related to those people, all the mementos and everything. So in deciding that I wanted to just take a digital footprint of everything and let the physical things go, I've sat for hours in my almost empty apartment trying to eliminate this last mound of things that I don't need. Like, I don't use them. They've been in boxes. I don't even know what they are, but I couldn't let them go. And that contributed to a body issue where now I'm dealing with numbness in my right arm. And I know that the right side of the body is typically masculine energy. So as I'm standing back in my masculine power within myself, it's fighting. So that has been what's coming up for me with this new moon. It's been fascinating.
And it's so interesting because Sharon and me, as you guys know, we're both 9 of clubs. Well, 9 is letting go of things, right? So that is part of our whole thing is what do we need to let go of, whether it's a mental thing. She's also a king of diamonds. So there's a mastery of values. Like, what do I actually value? What is actually worth keeping in my life? She mentioned the undefined G, but she also has the undefined spleen, of which the not self is hanging on to things for way too long that are no longer good for you. So my self-love level was really thrown in my face when I was able to see the gravity of the past relationship I was in. Normally, I describe it as toxic, but it really was abusive. And there's a lot of different perspectives out there. Don't blame the victim, and we need to take responsibility. But for me, what I notice is that if I'm going to accept this kind of behavior from someone, it has to be okay with myself first. So he would go to these therapy sessions and come back and say, my therapist said that, yes, maybe I'm not being great to you, but you're abusing yourself first. And, he was kind of like shafting his own responsibility there. So I ran off to Costa Rica for a retreat and ended up canceling my flight and staying there. And that was a lot of the work I did there was, okay, how can I love myself in a way that never happens again? And I was willing to bet that if I can raise my self-love to a level that matches someone else that I'm calling in to have this true love with that I wanted, that would safeguard me or fireproof me from having another abusive relationship. That's exactly what I found. And part of that work was creating a list of exactly the person I wanted to call in. We're talking about manifesting new moons. I kept that in the front of my mind. Another important thing, as we've mentioned on past calls, is instead of focusing on what you want, the word want actually means to not have. So if you're doing affirmations or anything with the universe and you're saying, I want this, I want a perfect partner, I want an explosion in business, you're saying, I do not have. And the universe is like, indeed. Okay, you don't have it. What's next? Right. So I started creating and refining this list and going on dates and saying, okay, I liked that. I didn't like that. And then further refining, getting more clear and clear. I would hold it and I would say to the universe, thank you. The order is placed. I am so excited to receive this. And it was like, I'm having it in the future. Like I knew it was coming, so I can have it now and feel those feelings of having it. And I swear that's like I'm getting goosebumps in my hair right now, but I swear that's something that really did make it manifest faster. And
Actually,
actually, yeah.
you say that phrase one more time. I haven't heard that version before, and I really like that.
What phrase?
The
Which
order
one?
is placed.
Oh, I just pulled that out of my butt right now. Like I've placed my order, it's on the way. Like this kind of a feeling when you get like an Amazon package, right?
Right.
So I wanted to put a little tidbit in here too for next time. The next full moon is August 9th, but the Lionsgate portal, it's August 8th. So it's a Friday. Next time, next Mooncast, I'm going to tell a story that I literally on August 8th, I knew it was a day for manifestation. I manifested the job I wanted in a matter of literal minutes. That was in Costa Rica. I'm going to tell you guys that story, but that was part of the wild ride there too. All righty. So Q&A. I think everyone here has been here before, so we won't waste time on what the cards are and stuff, unless anyone has any questions.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can. Hi, Karen.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
So just wanted to kind of know what might be in the cards about an injury that I had about, well, it was July 10th, but it was like the third injury that I've had this year.
Okay.
And this one is the worst. And it involves an incident on in the parking lot at the property that I live on. So anyway, I'm in a leg brace. I am
Oh
off
my
work for
goodness.
8 weeks and wanted to know, like, maybe what, if in the cards it shows something pertaining to the injury, but also maybe what the financial outcome could be. I don't know if I'm going to file a lawsuit. I'm definitely going to file an accident claim. I'm self-employed, so I don't get FMLA or LNI or anything like that.
Yeah, sure thing. And I'm sorry that happened. That sounds awful and really painful. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. It's very frustrating.
Yeah. And you remind me of your birthday and current age.
And my birthday is December 10th.
Okay. Eight of clubs and 10 of spades. And then how old are you right now?
60.
60. Perfect. Okay, and your timeline. So this year is about self-mastery for you. Great. And you have the King of Clubs. Just looking at your Saturn here. When did you say the fall happened?
July 10th.
So you do have in Saturn, you have a Jack of Spades and a Three of Clubs. A Jack of Spades is the rip-off card, so it can feel like you got ripped off. This can represent physical difficulties through association with an incompetent physician. It would be wise not to put your trust in doctors during this period or for the year to a lesser extent. There's also the possibility of being ripped off in some way. It's advisable to watch over your personal possessions and beware who may be dishonest or disreputable. That's just because it's a Jack. Spades men could cause a problem. And then this Three of Clubs underneath it. So worry and fear of the future could be your major concern, especially starting July 7th. This could be related somehow to an illness or a family member or yourself. Either way, you're worrying about this illness or the worry reaches the point of causing illness. So it could be like you're thinking about the other injuries so much that you're like tripping over stuff. Like that kind of is what that sounds like to me. Saturn has a karmic implication, which means this could be a repayment of one of your past actions. Take extra care of your health and diet now. You have a lot of creative energy. So, in order to stay in a positive frame of mind, you'd be better off if you found some way to express this creativity in a positive way. Creative projects could be difficult now because you're in a leg brace. It's in your best interest to pursue them and keep these creative juices flowing into constructive projects and goals. It's a tricky time, but on the other hand, in your other spread, you have a 10 of spades, which is overcoming injury. In Saturn, that's an amazing card to have. That says promises success through hard work, possibly in the healing or medical fields. This influence also brings the ability to recover from illness and overcome problems through perseverance and determination. You could feel you're paying a high price for success now, as work is harder than usual with many demands on your time and freedom. And yet, this is what you must do now. It'll bring you the success you want. Somehow, this is happening to lift you. The Jack of Spades is also initiation into a higher lifestyle. So even though it can feel like you got ripped off, you are this year learning to be the master of your own fate. It's actually, and this can sometimes sting, but it's like nothing can happen to us without our permission. The Queen of Spades is the card of self mastery, and many of those represented by this card have accomplished just that. They have an inner calm that speaks of knowledge and experience that can be successfully applied to any area. You are a good business person with strong character. This work is a labor of the spirit, meaning you do it more for just the material rewards it offers. The Queen of Spades is the second most powerful card in the deck, and you are fortunate to have her with you this year. This is a year you can accomplish your dreams, not by the usual approach. This year, all success comes from within you by mastering the causes of all of your exterior events by mastery of yourself. By seeing that nothing happens in your life without your permission, you reclaim your power to create the world you desire without trying to change others. This year, you have these qualities at your disposal, and you could indeed have a year of mastery and accomplishment. Recognize the power you have now and apply it wherever you desire. Look within for your answers and let that inner knowing help you in all of your external endeavors. And then your other one, the King of Clubs, says, yeah, success, your mind power is strong, mental fields, teaching, writing, management, or communications. You wield power and authority through acquired or developed knowledge. You could have a person in your life that has these sort of traits. They are people who live by their own truth and do not like interference from others. You could find yourself exhibiting some or all of these characteristics, and they can be applied to much success in your work. What I'm thinking, so Saturn is often also, like we talked about last time, Saturn is like the pattern interrupt, right? We said it's scary and it yanks you back onto your path. So my Saturn starts April 12th. That's exactly the day that my ex threw me across the room. And at the time I was like, what the hell? This is awful. This is not what I ever dreamed I'd be stuck in. But that was the day I finally could pack my stuff and go. So is this life redirecting you into maybe more rest? Or was there a path that you were on that life is like, nope, we're not going to let you, and you're going to be so grateful? Is there anything that resonates in a kind of like a realignment or recalibration?
I'll have to ponder that. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I'm thinking of it in terms of if you've had some plans or endeavors that require, especially if you're in a leg break, that require you to be up and moving, and life trying to slow you down, especially with this King of Clubs. Like, you're supposed to be mastering like mental stuff this year, like writing, uh, anything you could do on Zoom. So if there's something where you're pushing your body too hard or stressing yourself out, and I believe you're a manifester, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need your rest, man. Like, you have these cycles where you can do in 1 hour what would take people a month, and then you need a month of rest. So that can be hard, though. That's not the world we live in. So I would embrace the rest. It does say you have the 10 of spades, which is an amazing freaking card to have in Saturn. So don't worry. I think it's just redirecting you. Listen to your body, focus in on some creative stuff. Where can you create with your mental faculties? You have that power this year. So I hope that helps. And I hope you heal up soon.
Yeah, thank you. It does help for sure.
Good.
I like the going within to find the answers because I'm definitely working on meditation and doing all of that soul searching stuff for sure. But come to think of it, one thing that I was trying to get back into today was like fitness and working with a personal trainer. And yeah, that keeps getting sidelined.
How has that been going? Are you finding it like it's agreeing with you? We're liking it? It feels like something keeps sabotaging it, or?
I feel like something's sabotaging it. Like I feel like it's going really well. I think my trainer is fantastic. He's really good at scrutinizing technique and body mechanics and making modifications for me.
Yeah.
Like he's on it, and I feel like I was getting stronger. I feel like I was making progress, and just I'm super excited about that. But it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah. I was a personal trainer in a past life. Twice I got certified. I love working out for myself and I love learning all the physiology of it, but it just wasn't a business path for me. I don't like to listen to people whine, as you guys know. And now I'm 32, okay? And this is the things that used to work. And I know they worked because I employed them myself and I taught people they're not freaking working. And there's something called hormones and they change at 30, right? Things drop and then, man, it's just a mess until you're like 70. So Mel Robbins does this interview with someone, I can't remember the name, Stephanie, I think. But if you like, I'll send it to you because it's completely counters everything I learned, but it clicked. Like, it made sense in my head. I was like, yes. And it even confirmed some things that I had been starting to find, which again, were not what I was taught for myself. Like, in my 20s, I could work out like a dude, no problem. Like, there's the male way of the body working, and then there's like the female, and our brains are completely different too. It's made a huge difference. I'm like, man, what's going on? I'm intermittent fasting. I'm saunaing. I'm doing all this. And I was trying to get ready for my elopement photos. And then we found this podcast. And now I wake up and I'm shredded. And I'm like, what's going on? So if you like, I'll send it to you because this could be a redirect into, because when you said your trainer's a male, I don't know if he is knowledgeable in women's hormones and in women's body systems. I'm sure he is to an extent, but if you'd like, I'll send you this podcast and you can.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I
That'd
think
be great.
Dina already posted it in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Love you,
awesome.
Dina. Thanks, Dina. Okay, so cute story. Katrina's my sister, and she sent a little message in our family group chat. I think it was last night or this morning. But so Katrina has 3.5. Actually, she's almost 4. She'll be 4 in September. And this little thing is like a Tasmanian devil. Yeah, in the chat, she's like, that's why I'm asking. So I think it was last night, but her name's Serena, and she goes, Mom, can I have a little baby sister? And and by the way, she's like holding everything together with one kid. But as soon as my little niece asked her, she was like, baby fever. Okay, let's look at that. So I know Kat is a 3 of spades and a 7 of spades.
And you're how old right now?
I always forget. Are you 28, Kat? Yeah, 28.
20.
So you could have a little boy at 29 because you have an ace of hearts in Mars. You could have a girl at 30. You have an ace in Venus there. That's what we look for. You could have another baby at 30 because you've got some hearts in Saturn, 4 of hearts and a 5 of hearts. So that would be like a change of family status. And the 4 of hearts, like that's 4 hearts, right? There's you, Greg, Serena, and then possibly a 4th. So it looks like it would be a girl if you do have one. Yeah, at 30, it would likely be a girl.
So if I want a boy, have one next year.
Yeah, that's what the cards say. We'll see what happens. There was a time that I was writing these magazines when I was here in California early on, and I needed something to do to not go absolutely insane. Like I started having health anxiety, and I was just like, I need something to do. So I started these magazines. And part of one of the articles that I wrote for these self-published magazines was I would analyze celebrities' lives given their birth cards and given how old they are. And then using the news, I would go back and pinpoint how old they were when they had children, what their children's birth cards were, all of this. And it was absolutely wild how accurate it was. Like Meryl Streep's children are exactly, and and even if it doesn't have like when like the ace of hearts in Venus or Mars, you look at the annual theme and that's the birth card of the baby she ended up having that year. Like it's always somewhere. It's very weird.
I was also noticing in the auspicious years for the 3 of spades, 30 is a year of blessed endings for her.
Ooh,
So
ending of being a parent of one.
in her 7 of spades, it also shows challenge at 30, which having another baby is going to add some personal challenges.
We can also look at Greg's chart to see. Funny, at 32, he has a 5 of hearts in Venus, similar to what you have. So this could be going on next year. Oh, and his whole theme of 32 is an ace of hearts. That's like new baby stuff right there. Yeah, 32, he has 2 5 of hearts. So you guys are either moving or you're adding a new addition. Like that's pretty strong energy, I would say. And then at 32 in his other spread, that's like what he's hoping and wishing for all year is the ace of hearts. So I don't know. It looks like it's coming up. If that's what you want, otherwise wrap it up.
That's funny.
All righty. Thanks, Kat. Oh, Ian has a question.
Yeah, you had mentioned last time about you could see what a person like means to you for that year.
Yes.
So I was just curious. My mom passed away last November. Being Canada, you can't always do the burial in the winter. So
Yeah.
her burial, so like the finality is next Friday,
Okay.
first. So I was just curious, could you tell based on her, even though she's passed away, what her
Yeah,
meaning to me this year is?
absolutely. What's her birthday?
November 24th.
And then Ian, just remind me of your birthday and age.
December 21st, 1985. And so 39.
30. Cool. Okay, 9 of hearts and a jack of clubs. So then we look at his spread this year. So his Mercury at 39 is a jack of clubs. So that means like what's on his conscious mind all year. So not surprising. And his Neptune is Queen of Hearts. So that's the mother card. Neptune, like I just mentioned and didn't go into as much detail, is hopes and fears for the year. It's the state of the subconscious mind, whereas Mercury is the state of the conscious mind. So she's on his mind all year, and he's probably fearful of losing her. At 39, the Jack of Clubs in Jupiter. In Jupiter is expansion, business expansion. So with his mom's card in Jupiter, that can be like an inheritance situation, given the context, given that she has passed away. Yeah. When someone's card shows up in Jupiter, like I'm my husband's Jupiter this year. That doesn't mean I'm his inheritance or life insurance situation, but once we got ourselves settled down and married and everything, he was able to receive a promotion. So that had something to do with me, where the home's stable and he's able to really focus on being his best at work. So Jupiter functions in different ways, but with his mom's card in Jupiter, I'm saying that not that you would think it's a death card, but it makes sense for an inheritance. And Sharon, we've kind of talked about how that showed up for you in the past too. He also has, as the Queen of Diamonds at 39, the 7 of Hearts is his long range. And that's letting go of attachments in relationships. So that can be part of how this theme is showing up this year. That's what I see for Ian's question. Torrance, did you have any questions or did you want to share?
Yeah. Things are just going and moving for me. I kind of take everything in stride. So I think I'm still in the very beginning in so many things that I'm doing right now.
Yes. And Torrance's little one there is a manifester.
Oh boy.
Yes. With only the channel from the solar plexus to the throat. The 1222.
Oh, wow. Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh. That's awesome. She'll be like a poet or something.
So this is Inara's chart, Torrance's daughter.
Oh, it's 6'3".
Mhm.
That's like Katrina.
Yeah, she's the only 6'3" in the past 5 years that I've been doing human design that I've come across. Like, I don't even really know anything about them. Christy, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so Katrina on the call is a 6'3".
Okay.
And at first, I had never heard of that. I had heard of all of them up to 6'2", and did you know there's also a 3'6"? I was like, what? I've met one of those. I was like, that sounds crazy. So it's basically the sixth line is 3 different life stages. The Saturn return. So from age 0 to 28 to 30, they are in trial and error. Now, but because they're a third line on the other side, they have that their whole life anyway. But the personality or the conscious mind at 30 goes, we say, up onto the roof and essentially integrates all of the wisdom that they gained by the trial and error in the first portion of their lives. Then for 20 years, how I've heard it described is that they kind of live their life behind a pane of glass. So it can feel a bit isolating. Like I said, they go up on a roof. So they're kind of looking down at everybody and being like, man, what's the point? Like they're mastering their craft. It could be lonely time, but it's part of their process. And they're really saying, like, what is the point of all this? What's the point of what I'm doing? What's the point of life? They're pondering. We call it the fool on the roof. But then at 50, they come down off the roof and they emerge in society as this role model. And I've heard also that if you're a sixth line, it's after 50 years old that your love can truly blossom. So that doesn't mean that, like, for some people, they will actually either not have a marriage or love until 50. For some people, they could have divorced during that period where they're up on the roof, and then they find new love at 50 that's just incredible. They're able to fully be there and present and blossoming. Or it can be that they're in this wonderful relationship and it's good, it's sustainable, and they're happy. But then at 50, because of this new coming into themselves, their relationship just like explodes with blessings and amazingness. So, I've talked to some six lines. They're like, so I'm not going to find love until 50. And I'm like, no, it's just not the point of your process, right? So that's what I've seen. So that's the sixth line. And then the 3, I'm a 3. That's just, and it's the body line, right? So in this chart, it's the subconscious or the body. So that's saying bumps and bruises, bumping into people, touching hot stoves to see if it's actually hot when you said it's hot. I did that as a third line body. And it's just your body's moving through life. That's just how it goes. We do our best. But 3 is actually the connection to the material plane. And actually, anywhere there's a 3 in an open center is actually where you can make money. This is not a Leo topic, but let's look at this chart in front of us. So the 13, she has the open G. Let's start with the open G. The way I've heard this described is, okay, and you guys know with human design, it's a series of transmitters and receptors. So with an open G and a third line in that center, she's attracting people who are looking for, because she's here to become wise about identity, love, and direction. She could be hosting like a self-development webinar or a class. Anything where she's helping people with a sense of direction, love, identity, and self. With the open spleen, she could be someone who guides others to purge their homes, or she could work in healthcare because she's able to sense people's sense of well-being. She could teach because she has the third line in the Ajna, gate 11. She could be an amazing teacher. And as a manifester, I definitely see her speaking like that.
Right.
She'll be like in charge of a room at some level.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing right away is gate 11, which is her design sun, which is the unconscious way of being, is known as the storyteller. So she is going to be, besides, like Christy said, being a manifester, which is here to inform, she's going to be a great storyteller and be able to tell stories of my friend's brother's former sister-in-law from 10 years ago did this and it worked out this way. So yeah, I could totally see some type of teaching or public speaking.
Not to mention all of her own trial and error that she'll have to speak about.
Right. And then she'll be the role model.
Yeah.
To share all of that wealth of knowledge that she's collecting.
Yep.
So, note to you, Torrance, on this, it's probably going to be a bumpy road for you as a dad because she's going to be trying everything. And as much as it might concern you or you want to protect her, like that is her path. So let her do the bumps and the falls and the everything, be there to catch her, be there to pick her back up, but try not to keep her safe from doing that stuff because that's what she's here to do so that she can be the role model of all of that later.
Keep the Band-Aids on hand.
Yes.
No, dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, if nobody else has a question, I'd love to take a
So
look at mine from your standpoint. So I am in this transitional phase right now, which I didn't really remember being in my chart, where leaving my corporate jobs completely, being on this path of building my business, and everything feels like it's flat right now. I've left the home that I've been living in. I'm moving to a new state. I don't know where the money is coming from at the moment. Just looking at, is this what's happening right now? And then when does it transition into the abundance that I'm creating?
yeah. Got you. And are you 59?
I am.
Okay. So this year, your theme is a 4 of hearts. So you needed a more stable home situation, or you wanted to be closer to loved ones, or something was going on there. And your other theme is a 7 of diamonds. So this, it's throwing in your face your own personal level of abundance or poverty mindset. So that's no wonder you're thinking about it. It's like this was the year that it's going to be shown to you. Oh man, okay. What do you
And
mean
I'm
it's
in-
not in your chart?
And I'm in Saturn right now.
I know, but your whole challenge for the year and your result. So Sharon has 5 of clubs is your Pluto. And then your result is the 5 of spades, which is moving locations. So you were restless, you had all these changes of mind, and that's something you had to navigate, especially with your emotional authority. But as a blessing to you, by your next birthday, you end up in a completely different location. You said you're in Saturn right now?
Yeah.
So that's the time it happens, right? Like that's the redirection. I will look at what's in your Saturn, but also in your Venus, you have a 9 of clubs, so letting go, and then an ace of spades, new transformation, and also spades represents lifestyle, work, and health. So this is absolutely the year it was going to come. Inside, you have 10 of spades and 10 of diamonds. And actually, you have these 2 queens. You have the Queen of Diamonds in Uranus and in Neptune. When I had that is when I moved into this new beautiful house. So you're moving somewhere that's an upgrade. It's like plush and luxurious. I had literally that same spread. You're gonna really like it. And then your 8 of Diamonds is your environment. So like new changes, new value system, transformation in your values and in your money is what is your blessings this year. This is just in one spread. Like I haven't even checked the other one.
Yeah. So when does the money come?
Well, okay. So funny, in the other spread, you have an ace of clubs in Venus. So again, this is like change in your home situation. In Saturn, you have diamonds. So on the one hand, you have a 10 of spades, a 10 of diamonds. So this is good. That's like success in groups. And 10s in Saturn is like, oh, okay, like the protection, right? And then in your other spread, we'll read this. You have the 7 of diamonds, the millionaire card, but in Saturn, and the King of Diamonds, the business person. So let's look more into that. And your environment is 9 of diamonds, giving things away, as the long range is often more powerful and contextual.
That's so funny. I've given so many things away in this move.
Yeah. So Ace of Diamonds as displacement. This year could be one in which you experience some amount of financial limitation, real or imagined. A desire for more on the material plane can motivate you into new enterprises or directions, or it could be proving to just be a nagging feeling of not having enough. New jobs or money-making ventures could take more effort than you expected, and you could feel that all you do is work. A restless urge could overtake you and inspire you to take a trip or even move to a new location. In all, you will need to pay more attention to your work or financial situation and put a little extra effort to guarantee everything works right in your life. So that's for the year. So you're right on track because You're struggling with the thing that it says you're struggling with.
Yes.
And now this Saturn stuff. So again, you have protection because of those tens. We can look at your Jupiter too. If it's yeah,
Wait, did you say 10 of clubs
you have
as the tens?
10 of spades and diamonds, which is exactly what you want for money stuff. Okay, so 7 of diamonds. During this period, you'll be faced squarely, this is what I was saying, with your inner level of prosperity or poverty, and you may feel forced to contend with a fearful lack of funds. So remember, this was a theme of your year, and Saturn is where it's going to come to a head because it's literally that card in Saturn. So through application of positive thinking and appreciation for what you have, you can turn this into financial success. It says, also bear in mind the difficulties or challenges indicated by this card can be offset by a strong card in the other position. For example, 4s, 8s, 10s, you have double 10s. So we're good. This is literally just something needed to happen to springboard you into this wealth that is your birthright this year. So it's up to you what that looks like and how much you scale that. Now let's look at the King of Diamonds. So he says, and this could be a person, this could be a man of the diamond suit that's involved or that you meet this period. This says, though financial success is attainable during this period, you may not feel it is worth the amount of effort and difficulty in order to attain it. If you have your own business, this is especially true. See yourself laying the foundation for future successes. The problems you work with now will set the stage for more expansion and prosperity later because Saturn is the burden. So yes, you've got some money cards and opportunities, but it's like this heavy, like father structure on top of you. So it's just like, it feels like more work than it should be. And that's okay. Any diamonds men in your life may assume a teaching role with you, or they could become a burden. Now, the other thing is this is your card. It could be just that this is very much in the forefront of your mind, or something can happen that really involves you, like a move where you're having to spend all this money and time and resources dealing with. So it can be that too.
Being the King of Diamonds?
Yes, King of Diamonds. And then you do have a lot of diamonds going on. So money was definitely a focus of the year. Next up in your Uranus, you have a 4 of diamonds, which is financial stability. It doesn't mean it's not an 8 of diamonds. It doesn't necessarily mean like overwhelming prosperity yet, but there was something for you now to deal with the 7 of diamonds that it's putting it in your face. It's like, girl, there's money coming. The curse of the lottery, right? When people win the lottery and they freaking blow it and they're more in debt than before. So, and I have crazy goosebumps right now. But yes, the Saturn 7 of diamonds is like, get this handled so that you have room for financial stability. And your Uranus, which has to do with real estate. Let's read what that says. And it's partnered with the 6 of clubs, which is your life purpose, like your fated thing that you're supposed to be doing. So the 4 of diamonds and Uranus.
Now I got major chills on that one.
Me too. Like my knees are tickling. Okay, so in Uranus, it's a good money card indicating money made through labor, real estate, humanitarian efforts, or futuristic technology. So that could be like AI. This can also represent an unusual or unexpected income of money because it's Uranus. So that's, you're not going to see it coming, but you do have to have this mindset stuff handled before then. Your efforts will bring gains at this time. So even right now in Saturn, you're like, oh my God, I'm doing all this stuff and it's not resulting in anything. It's just kind of a dam, like it's backlogged and then it is going to flow.
Perfect.
So this influence brings good relations with coworkers and large institutions. That makes me think of your H&R Block stuff, which can also be a source of financial gains for you. You'll be feeling satisfied with your financial situation. It's a grounding force. That could also be the stuff you're doing with Derek and Jeremy because it's 10s in Saturn. It has to do with groups. So I think something to do with groups in front of groups of people, that's what brings you this more stable situation.
Yeah.
But this is the year, if you want a breakthrough in your finances, it's kind of like what we said with Karen. It starts inside. Okay, so your blessings this year from giving things away, which you've been doing. So giving up things, people, or jobs that you once valued highly will bring up many blessings and rewards this year. On some level, this is a year to let go of the past and prepare to move on to many new and better things. Usually we are afraid to let go of things in our life. Okay. Afraid that the loss will deprive us of something important and essential to our happiness. However, this year you are protected and all completions will bring you greater fortune and happiness. I think you end up making a huge change in your Jupiter. At 60, your long range is a 9 of diamonds, which is financial fulfillment. And your other one is a 5 of spades, which is like a massive change in lifestyle or work. And that happens in your Jupiter period where you have a queen of diamonds. So I think something happens next year where you're doing something different and it ends up bringing you blessings. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
Karen says, that reminds me, I also want to ask, is this as a result of the injury at the property? Is there anything in my cards about moving my home? Also, this isn't anything to do with the cards, but I would have, if you can, a consultation with a personal injury lawyer, especially when it's a corporation. You're losing out on work right now. You're not able to, there's a loss of enjoyment of life. So I would have a consultation if you can and just see what's possible. My mom tripped on like a 2-inch sidewalk and was off work for like 6 months because she broke her arm last year. And I was like, you got to go talk to an injury lawyer because it's the city, right? I know someone that on his motorcycle slid on gravel on a street and the city was negligent and they should have cleaned that up. And he got a massive payout from that. And it's not about trying to be a miser, but it's look at the bright side, or, learn the system. I mean, they're printing money from nothing. You might as well be smart about it.
I did reach out to an attorney yesterday that I had used before as a consultation to see if this was under his bailiwick or if he could refer somebody else.
Yeah.
So he mainly worked in like insurance claims, like fighting denials and things like that.
Okay. That's good though. Good that you're looking into that.
Yeah.
I mean, people just work so hard, man. It's like, and then when you can't work, it's like, and they tax you. Anyways, that's a whole other soapbox. I'm like,
Right,
what side
totally.
is Jupiter? We'll talk about that one day.
And Karen is self-employed.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
So nothing coming in right now.
Oh, boy. Okay. So let me reread your question. As a result of the injury at the property, anything about moving your home? That would be more of like maybe a next year thing.
I think that was the concern, is that if she does this, they might not renew her lease,
Oh,
which
I
is
see.
up in January.
Okay. So that's in her next year. So at 61. Well, your theme of 61 is 8 of diamonds. So there's money coming from somewhere. Yeah, at 61, your environment is the change of location or business. It's the 5 of spades. So any move that you do at 61 is blessed. Like just lean that direction. You also have stability in your home, but there's like a letting go of attachment. Oh man, Mars 5s all over the place. Okay. So I would think the move happens. There could be some drama with the home stuff, but it looks like the move would happen in the spring. So maybe it's like you stick around through the winter and this like preceding stuff is happening, but then as soon as spring hits, that's when you actually find this perfect place to live. Or maybe at that point you're packed and ready.
When she gets her $1 million settlement and she buys her nice house and
Exactly. Yep. That could be the thing. You got 3 5s in Mars plus an ace of spades. So Mars is usually like career, but because it's spades cards, it's like lifestyle. So completely different lifestyle. It absolutely 5 of spades is locational too. And you have the Jupiter 5 of spades. So something from a massive change, whether it's change of lifestyle, change of business, change of health, can bring you money. That's a good place for it. So you know what that could look like because of this change in health this year. It's your Jupiter card next year. So the settlement comes through next year. And so maybe you wait to file it until the Mars time. And that's why, which actually is also March for you. I'd be interested to see how this plays out. That's kind of what I'm seeing. It's like you do get the payout and you're already moved into your new place and it's good, perfect timing.
So are you saying not to do the lawsuit until next year?
I'm saying it may not, like, I wouldn't wait on it. I would find with legal stuff, they can be weird. I would go for it, but you may not see, it takes time. It takes time to get in front of, so it could just be that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, clarify.
Yeah, of course.
Time is everything, right?
Yep, exactly. At the end of 60, you have these 6 of diamonds. 6 of diamonds can be a balancing of accounts. It can be like getting paid for something you're owed. It can mean you have to pay someone that you owe. And because it's Uranus, it's like unexpected. But that could be an unexpected payout for this whole thing. That could show up that way. It also has to do with real estate. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing if you move forward with it or just wait for it to happen.
Okay.
I can tell Christy's very interested and
I'm like,
invested
what
in this
else?
one. She's
Yeah.
like looking through it.
I appreciate it.
Of course. No, I appreciate you guys so much. Sharon and I only have so much to say. We can talk for hours on the phone and stuff, but in terms of trying to have a presentation, your questions really mean the world. So I really appreciate your engagement. And you can tell we love looking into this stuff. We love trying to share universal knowledge, which is the 9 of clubs that we yeah. But yeah, please let us know. Please come back and tell us how things unfold.
Will do. Yep.
Love to hear that. Awesome.
As Christy was saying, we have the 8/8 coming up.
Yes, the lion
But
portal.
then on August 9th is the sturgeon moon, full moon. And just a little brief highlight of what that's about is resilience and inner strength, ancestral wisdom and connection, transformation and renewal, harvest and abundance, emotional clearing and release, and reevaluation of goals and priorities. So we have a really fun full moon coming up along with the Lion's Gate on 8/8.
Join us for the Lions Gate portal. Friday morning, August 8th will be our next Mooncast. Hope to
Yes.
see you then.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.